Matt and Shawna are industrial designers who can make concrete do things you probably didn't think concrete could do.
This is a mother prototype. This is our most important prototype. This is what all of our molds are made from. This was my final kind of prototype. The next one after this is concrete. So this is just about the finished piece. And they have fun sound.
Concrete. It's in buildings and roads, bridges and sidewalks, the Colosseum, the Hoover Dam, the Panama Canal, the CN Tower. The only substance humanity uses more of than concrete is water. But is there any concrete in the room you're in right now? If not, it's likely because concrete, for all of its utility, is typically gray and rough and jagged and industrial. But in the hands of designers Matt and Shawna Heide, concrete becomes a material not just for infrastructure, but for the home. So what do they do to this utilitarian material, typically used for buildings and infrastructure, to turn it into something beautiful and vibrant? It all starts with color. Let's get into it. This is CBC On Design.
There's something interesting about changing, I guess, the context of the object, changing what people's expectations of it are, and making something that is this kind of a rough and tumble material into this very refined thing. There's that element of surprise when people are like, what's this made out of? And you're like, it's concrete. And they're like, no, it can't be. And they're like, you're painting it though. And it's like, no, we're not painting it. It's all concrete.
I think in general, people think of concrete as this very rugged industrial thing that is just like a necessity. Like it's utilitarian, you walk on it, you build with it. It's not usually handheld. So usually it's something you're looking at, but not necessarily holding it in your hand or even touching it really.
We are very hands-on. We know how to use computers, but it's not our favorite thing to do. Having an idea that's in your head is just an image, and taking a lump of clay and squishing it into that image. I find that to be an incredibly rewarding process. In a world that's getting increasingly more digitized and more like computer and algorithm driven, it's important to step back and be like, what can you do by hand? How things feel, what their weight is, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. That's hard to translate from a computer screen. It's easy to translate when you've got a lump of clay in your hands. Being able to translate that all the way into concrete, where it's no longer clay, but it is this like, it's rock. Like you've made rock. It's exciting. I still find it really fascinating and fun, and I don't think I'll ever change.
So Matt and Shawna start by experimenting in flexible clay. Once a design feels good in their hands, they cast a hard plaster version of the design. From there, they continue to iterate, touching every surface until it's ready to be made into a final silicone mold for the concrete. But form is only one aspect of their design.
Well, I am color obsessed. Someone will say, like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, how do you even answer that question? Like, look at this color, and then look at this color. And then when they come together in a surprising way, that's very exciting to me. A lot of people have an emotional reaction to things that are colorful, but for some reason, when it comes to like using your money to buy something and you have a choice between colorful and gray, people will choose a neutral or a gray. And that's cool, that I do that too. But for me, it's like, I don't know. How can you not choose the color?
I think incorporating swampy, earthy, gothic colors along with like poppy, vibrant, like cartoonish colors, there is an element that's a little bit unsettling, where it's like, oh, you see those poppy cartoon colors and you're like, this is fun, but then you see those earthy, more grounded colors and you're like, oh, there's definitely more to it than just, pop.
And lots of times we're out and about and we see something and I'm like, take photo, lock in that palette. I want to play with that and see how it translates. That happens a lot. Like the series that we did for Simon's, this was inspired by our trip to the Gaspésie, so we call it Denim in the Sea, and it's Quebec colors.
Once the mold is ready and the colors are chosen, Matt and Shawna measure the pigment and concrete mixes, add water, and hand mix a separate batch of concrete for each color. Once they're mixed, they layer in the different colors.
So that's our beginnings.
They add the mixture into the mold.
I'm just gonna go for it. No promises on what we're gonna get here. Okay, too.
And force out any air pockets by hand.
I brought powered vibration in case we needed it, but if it's fluid enough to vibrate air out just with my hands, it'll keep our marbling from blurring. Like the colors won't overblend. Well, I really hope this turns out so that tomorrow is exciting and we demold it and we're like, oh wow, that was really, wow. I guess you guys are the best, but if that doesn't happen, oof. That's kind of it till tomorrow.
But what's going on inside? How does concrete go from a powder to a colorful rock just by adding water?
A general person, if you ask them how concrete solidifies, they would tell you that the water dries out of it, that it's drying. That would be the most common thing that you hear is like, oh, is it dry yet? Then it's done. Concrete's not drying. It's undergoing a chemical process where it's actually curing. But it's a lot like ceramic, but flipped the other way around, where ceramic is fired at the end of the process. Concrete, the raw inputs are fired before you ever use them. And hydration, the act of adding water to it, kicks off a chemical process and you're making this new material.
But beyond the creation of a new material, Matt and Shawna have taken it a step further, creating a new material that looks unlike any other material. They call this pattern Oracle, and it relies on the interplay of the base elements to achieve a magical outcome. And a process that they keep top secret.
The day I discovered the Oracle pattern, the night I discovered the Oracle pattern, I demolded these objects and like most of them were garbage. And even the one that had showed some of the pattern, I'm like, the object didn't turn out. But there was this little kind of sparkle of hope in it to be like, what's all this bits here? Like, why does it look like this? And it sounds corny, but I went to bed and I had a dream about it. And in the dream, there was like this sense of being like, you gotta focus on this thing. You gotta dig in, just go back, dig in on it. And that was the beginning of the Oracle pattern.
Oracle you can influence, but you can't control it. You bring what you want to do, and then you have to let go and see what happens. There's steps in the process that you have control, and then steps that you have absolutely none.
A lot of it is working blind. We can see about 10% of what's actually going on until everything is demolded, and then we're like, oh, okay, here's how it looks.
It's scary as hell. Every time you're like, I hope this turns out. Actually, it's probably going to turn out, but like if you didn't put enough water, or you put too much water, or we did this too much and didn't do that enough, well, it's too late, and so we'll get it next time.
I think to me that's the most interesting thing about the Oracle pattern is how unpredictable it is. because it means that every piece that we make is a little bit different. It's impossible to make two that are the same. Celebrities that we know have bought our work, Mandy Moore, Katy Perry, Demi Lovato, Frank Ocean. We've done a lot of work with Seth Rogen's houseplant.
From the discovery of the oracle pattern to getting it on the shelves and walls of some pretty recognizable names, what drives Shawna and Matt to continue creating with concrete? As industrial designers, their tactile approach is anything but digital. Do they ever get tempted to let computers into that process?
I love technology, I love video games, I love computers, I love all that stuff, but it feels like people's humanity is stripping away with, you know, these levels of digitization that are coming into play. And I love that handmade objects, physical objects, are a robust experience. You know, that to us is like really inspiring and important.
As a maker and a designer, you're always trying to make the best thing, especially in concrete, because you're like, there's no redos. Like, once it's made, that's it. There's no fixing it. You can't undo. Like, coming from computer medium to real life medium, always I'm like, oh, undo. Oh, no undo. No undo. That's a good thing, because yeah, technology can kind of wreck you.
I think our work shines its brightest when it's in someone's hands. When you pick it up and you hold it and you feel the weight and you touch the edges and you slide your hand around it, that is meant to be satisfying. And so I make that choice. When I feel it, I decide, I'm like, does this feel satisfying? Does this, does this gratify some need I have to feel something in my hands? And hopefully the answer is yes, in which case it can go out into the world.
From surfaces to mirrors to masks, industrial designers Shawna and Matt have transformed concrete, shedding its utilitarian roots to create something playful and vibrant and alive.